Hey everyone, Shabby here and welcome back to our next episode of the SWE Universe Mode. We are back for our next episode of Carnage. And tonight we have a big main event as Raven will be defending the Carnage Championship against Braun Strowman. And we are going to start things off here with a little bit of tag team action. The Briscoe brothers will take on Rob Van Dam and Sabu. And here we go then. An interesting one, this one, because it'd be the first time that we see Rob Van Dam and Sabu tagging together. So we might use a little bit more often in 2K18, depending on, of course, what tag teams we have available. Of course, we're still going through the roster reveals. There would have been another one today. Yeah, today, but I won't have... No, it's not, is it? There'll be another one tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. There's another one tomorrow. We've got some pretty good names revealed so far. We know we've got Roderick Strong, which is no surprise. Bobby Roode, no surprise. Ember Moon, no surprise. So I want to try and get a few... Well, the biggest surprise I think so far were TM61 and Rick the Model Martel were pretty big surprise as well. So they're pretty good. People will definitely use. I'm not quite sure about the model where we're going to use him, to be honest with you, but I'm sure we'll find a place. But yeah, I'm looking forward to how this is all panning out now, and I think the next few roster reveals, considering we've already got the majority of the people that are already on the game, the next few roster reveals might hold some more new names, which would be pretty good. Looking forward to seeing who else they're going to bring in. Any more legends, potentially. There is going to be a roster of about an extra 70 people on top of what was on this game. Considering they said they were going to go from 180 to 200 on disc and then DLC on top. We're going to have a massive roster, really. So it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it, actually. I am very much looking forward to it. What else is there? The Roderick Strong, yeah. There's some really good people, actually. I'm looking forward to seeing how it's all going to pan out. With me and PJ said we've got some plans in mind of what we want to do, but well, we're going to have to fight it out at the draft, I suppose, aren't we? We're going to have to fight it out at the draft. And here then comes Sabu, the homicidal, genocidal, suicidal Sabu. Now I'm going to try in this episode, and I apologise that I've noticed I've been really bad at this recently. I'm going to try this episode and not get so annoyed by everything. So I do apologise. I've just been a bit fed up with the game recently. It's been a bit annoying. It's been very, very buggy recently. And it's really got on my nerves. That's because I was recording an awful lot, but I've had a few days off because I've been away for a week for work. So I've not recorded an episode of SWE in about a week now. So hopefully we can get through a whole one without me getting mad or angry. But of course, like I said earlier on, we do have a big main event for you. Raven will be defending his Carnage Championship against Braun Strowman here this evening. And I'm not liking Raven's chances, to be honest with you. Also this evening we have for you, up next, Jimmy Havoc versus Jester. Next up after that will be Super Crazy versus Tajiri one-on-one. Then we got a return of Terry Funk's Open Challenge. And then of course, like I said, our main event, the big one, Braun Strowman gets his opportunity at the Carnage Championship against Raven. Raven, of course, is our second champion in Carnage already. Of course, Carnage has been going for about a month or so now. Of course, Mil Muertes won the belt originally, mainly because I completely messed it up and put Mil Muertes in that final instead of Raven. So a couple of weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a triple threat match for the championship, which Raven won, and now Raven has to make his first defense in a match that is going to be very, very difficult for him, I think. I think he's going to struggle with this one. How do you take on a man-beast like Braun Strowman? How do you defend not just your belt, but yourself against someone like Braun Strowman? It's going to be bloody tricky. And it's great as well, the fact we're going to have Rob Van Dam on the game for 2K18 as well, which is really good. It saves us a cord. It saves us a hell of a lot of logos as well. We're going to have a much better place there with logos. I can guarantee that. It'll be much better for us. It'd be interesting to see who else gets put on the game then. Anyone else from Cena's past potentially for a... I don't know if there is a showcase of Cena or what, or It's a bit difficult to tell, really. It's a bit of an iffy one, isn't it? Not a lot of information has been released apart from the roster reveal. Like, I'd like to know more stuff, like some more information into the match creator, or what was it? Some more info about the changes to the universe mode, or anything like that. But it's the way it has been for a long time, hasn't it? It's the way it has been for a long time. We don't really know a lot about the game until it is released. Of course, I'm going to pre-order it, so I will get it on the early, isn't it? Was it the 13th we get it? Friday the 3rd, well, Thursday, yeah, Friday the 13th we'll get it. And we plan, still can't promise anything, but the plan is to have a draft uploaded within the first 24 hours of the game being released. And there's no promises on that, but that currently is the plan, as there's a Death Valley driver there by Jay Briscoe. Briscoe now drop kick to the side of the head of Sabu as well. And now stiff right hands to Sabu. I don't think that's going to bother him too much. The man's used to taking a lot of damage. But is it just going to be a little bit too much after Death Valley driver? Jay potentially looking, yep, hook in the arms. Takes him up into a J driller. Boom. Sabu folded in half. There's the pin. 1, 2... No, Sabu kicked out. Wow. I suppose Rob Van Dam's taken a lot of the damage in this match, and Sabu's literally just taken the finisher maneuvers, but still you would have thought that could have been enough to finish Sabu off. But like I say, Sabu has some great resilience based off his previous hardcore antics over the years. Of course, the likes of barbed wire matches or anything like that. We had the what is it? Is it what was it called again? Born to be Wyatt? I can't remember what it's called now. I've got the DVD somewhere. The barbed wire match between Terry Funk and Sabu. Is it Born to be Wyatt? No, it's not. What's it called? I'm trying to see it now. My DVD cabinet's so disorganised I can't figure out where it is. I'm sure it's on there somewhere. Born to be Wyatt. It might be, you know. Sabu's getting a big hammer in here, isn't he? Mark Briscoe in the ring now. The Briscoes been a bit disappointed with how things have gone for them recently. Not able to get the tag team championships because Sanity won those. And now they need to prove themselves, show what they can do. And they've had a... No, they haven't, have they? What have they been doing? No, because they went for the Adrenaline Tag Team Championships, which were won by... Okay, I think they were the Mayhem Tag Team Champions for a little period of time, weren't they? Is that correct? They've not done anything so far in this season of the Universe mode. Things have not gone too well for them. As Sabu here lining up. Mark Briscoe, what's he got planned? Oh, diving tornado DDT through the bottom and middle ropes. Very interesting. Sabu then taking control of this match now, and Sabu was in a pretty bad place. Big kick in the back there by Mark Briscoe. Slamming the head of Sabu into the mat as well, and Briscoe, I thought he might be trying to try and get the count-out victory there. He's not far away. The referee's on a 7, but Mark, oh, no interest in the count-out victory. Diving moonsault to the outside. That's freaking crazy. What sort of absolute nutcase would go for that? And Briscoe just continuing the assault now on the outside. Wrenching back with that reverse dragon sleeper hold on Sabu, who fights back with a couple of knees in the face of Mark Briscoe. Both guys need to get back in the ring now. Referee's up to a 7. Sabu sending Mark Briscoe in. And there you go, both guys back in the ring now. Sabu could do a making a tag, really, because he's been involved for quite some time, but scoop slam there on Mark Briscoe now coming across. And I think he wants to tag in Rob Van Dam, who's not paid any attention to him at all. A little bit of miscommunication there. We know, like I said, this is the first time that RVD and Sabu have teamed together in this universe mode. There's a Northern Lights suplex. RVD takes Jay Briscoe out really well with the monkey flip. but Mark was able to kick out, and Sabu here now wrenching back at the neck with a camel clutch, of course, taking the maneuver from his uncle, the Sheik. Sabu's uncle, the Sheik, I think. It's not quite enough still to make Mark Briscoe tap. Mark Briscoe there hoisting Sabu up. Sabu fights him back and into the flatliner. Handspring, leg drop by Sabu. A drop kick right to the side of the face of Mark Briscoe as well. Briscoe just stands straight up, completely no-sells it now. Briscoe with a DDT on Sabu. Briscoe heading up top. What's he got planned? Big frog splash. There's the pin. 1, 2. And Rob Van Dam able to come across and break it up. Mark Briscoe once again heading up top. You can see it's taking a toll on him now though. He's a bit knackered out. Went for that big elbow, but say it took him a long time to get up there, and Sabu was able to roll out of the way. Sabu now big line all the way across the ring. So, but right in front of Jay. Oh, so right in front of Jay Briscoe, but Jay decided he didn't want to break it up for the reasons that remain his own, I suppose. Sabu now dropping an elbow right into the inside of the knee of Mark Briscoe. Sabu, of course, busted open earlier on in the match, but still continuing on. Hurricane Runner on Mark Briscoe as well. And finally, we're going to see a little bit of Rob Van Dam. Rob now springboard leg drop. Briscoe slides back in, but Van Dam catches him with that boot across the chest. And I think, I thought RVD was going up there to maybe righted himself for the 5-star, but instead he was just taunting the crowd instead. Surprised Rob didn't go for the 5-star there, to be honest. Now looking for that. No, hand cartwheel moonsault, I suppose. Thought he was going to go for the rolling thunder there, to be honest, but it looked like he was lining up for it, didn't it? Briscoe now just pushing the throat of Rob Van Dam across that middle rope. Now Mark Briscoe heading up top once again. Is he going to hit a frog splash? Hitting a frog splash on Rob Van Dam is the ultimate. There it is, the big frog splash on RVD. But Sabu has the referee's attention there while Mark Briscoe had the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Jay Briscoe taking Sabu off the apron. And you think if Sabu had not distracted the referee, could that have been the end of the match there? So maybe there is a bit of better tag team work than what we thought with RVD and Sabu. Nice jumping clothesline there by Mark Briscoe. Just slamming some right hands right to the side of the face of Rob Van Dam as well. And Mark Briscoe stalking Van Dam onto his shoulders. Into the inverted Death Valley driver. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. The Briscoe brothers are victorious here over the team of Rob Van Dam and Sabu. It was a good victory there. I think it just, in the end, it was a pretty even match, but I think in the end it just showed the more coherent team of the Briscoe brothers. They're just that bit stronger in this one. And of course it's going to help them in the tag team ranking points as well. They need more points as the time goes on. Of course it's going to be taken into 2K18 as well, so the more points they can get, the better for them. Mark Briscoe could have tapped out there to the camel clutch, and RVD should have probably been pinned there for the 3 count as well, but referee distracted by Sabu, who was trying to come into the ring, and you see now this is way past the 3 count already. But you think to yourself, would Rob Van Dam have kicked out if the referee counted straight away? Maybe he's waited there because he knows he's got the chance to rest and relax for a few seconds, I suppose. And there we go, the 3 count after the inverted Death Valley driver. And the Briscoe brothers are victorious. Victorious! Very strong tag team. But again, still 2 guys that I reckon could do some really good work single-wise as well. And maybe we'll see a bit more of that in 2K18. I'm sure the Briscoes will be involved in some proportion, but whereabouts they're going to be, who knows? Although I feel like Carnage is a natural home for these 2 guys. Especially if we can get some pretty cool match types back. I want to have some tag team tables on the go. Briscoes versus Dudleys, that's what we want to see. And here's our next match then. It is going to be Jimmy Havoc taking on Jack Jester. And here we go then. 2 British guys. Or UK guys. Gonna fight it out here. 2 very interesting members of this roster as well. First up, Jimmy Havoc, of course, this year's winner of the Tournament of Death over in Combat Zone Wrestling. I already used this Jimmy Havoc core a lot. I weren't overly keen on it, I must admit, but I don't think it's the first time I'm actually going to see it properly in the ring, I think. So we'll have a better chance to sort of have a guess and see how good we think it is. His attire is very good. It's just the face I wasn't overly sure on, but I don't know, it's quite good, I suppose. I don't think it's the best core we've ever had, but at the same time I don't think it's the worst either, so it's does the trick, doesn't it? Does what it needs to do. And a chance to see these 2 guys go at it as well. Tell you what, his entrance actually quite suits him, the whole heel nature of it, and just this few seconds, just arm over the turnbuckle there, just giving the crowd a bit of a look. I'm not quite sure who'd be playing the heel in this one either. Probably Jester, I would imagine, maybe. I don't know, but both guys have played both roles on several occasions. I'm looking forward to this one. And of course, his opponent is going to be Jack Jester again. A man I don't think we've seen on TV yet so far in this unit. I think we have seen Jimmy Havoc once in a Fatal 4-Way, haven't we? This is his first chance to show us what we can do in a singles match. And then here comes Jack Jester representing ICW. Yep, the Insane Clown Posse. You know what, I'm so tempted to use the Insane Clown Posse in 2K18. If you've never seen it, right, there's a really good kayfabe interview sort of style, documentary style thingamajig with the Insane Clown Posse, and it's so funny because they do not hold back. They say exactly what they think, they say exactly what they want, and some of the stuff they've come out with is quite interesting to say the least. It's definitely worth a watch. Kayfabe Commentaries, I think it's called. Yeah, it's definitely worth watching if you can find it. There are probably clips and so forth on, I think the Kayfabe Commentaries guys have got a YouTube channel, and I think they have clips of a lot of their interviews and they're all worth a watch, really. There's some very interesting stuff. They do get a lot of people who don't give a crap what they say. They really don't. There's some crazy stuff gets said. I think at one point the Insane Clown Posse guys were going around sort of, wow, Jester goes straight for this. Yeah, the Insane Clown Posse guys were going straight round and saying who they thought were on drugs in the backstage area and stuff like that, and well, not who they thought, who was on drugs in the backstage area and all that sort of stuff. It was a real sort of eye opener of what happens in certain companies, because of course it was interesting for them because they worked WCW and WWE, I believe. I think they did, yeah. I'm sure they did. And of course they run their own company now. Is it JCW, Juggalo Championship Wrestling? So Jack Jester here in firm control of this match and demolishing Jimmy Havoc. I forgot Jimmy's name there for a second. I apologise, Jimmy. I do apologise, Jimmy. I seem to have forgotten your name for a split second there. Jack Jester now on the top. Went for the big splash, but Jimmy Havoc rolls out of the way. Jimmy Havoc almost, well, Jack Jester almost undertaken it there by just sitting up. But it didn't really work out too well for him, did it? He got taken straight back down again. Big kick in the gut as well by Jimmy Havoc. who's now taken control of the match. Like I said, he was struggling for a while in this match. Big right hand. Now getting around the back, looking for that dragon suplex. Havoc now dragging Jester in the middle of the ring. I'm a little bit surprised how this match has gone so cleanly, really. You'd think that there'd be a few more weapons on the use, wouldn't you, really? Big double foot stomp there by Jimmy Havoc on Jester. Went for the kick in the back, but Jester rolls out the way. Now into a angle slam. As Jester heads up to the middle rope. There he is, double axe handle, taking Jimmy Havoc down. And now Havoc getting wrenched back, sorry, by Jester into the camel clutch submission hold. Havoc breaking free now though, and looking to try and turn it around on Jester. He does have that knee once again, and DDTs it into the mat. Jester getting back up to his feet with the aid of Jimmy Havoc, who sends Jester into that bottom rope. Big clothesline. Flattened him there. Absolutely flattened him. Havoc got there as well, diving back senton. Jimmy Havoc bringing Jester back. Oh no. Jester playing possum there, catching Havoc unawares and tripping him over. And just stomping straight across the neck. So don't forget, of course, this evening our main event is going to be Braun Strowman challenging for the Carnage Championship against Raven. We've also got for you another episode of Terry Funk's Open Challenge. And of course, next up we've got a bit of cruiserweight action as Tajiri takes on Super Crazy. Big kick across the chest there by Jester, now bringing Jimmy Havoc back up to his feet, but Havoc sent into the turnbuckle. Oh, a nice boot in the face there by Jimmy Havoc. Havoc sending Jester into the corner. None of these two guys have really got a... They're not really a fun moveset, have they? Like, it's been a pretty good match. It's been a pretty even match, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But nobody's really got a... Like, if they had a really cool moveset... I think that's why the Daisuke Sekimoto matches have been quite good, because they've got really good movesets. Oh, hang on a minute, here we go. Jester here now draping Jimmy Havoc off that middle rope into a neck breaker. A big boot into the inside of the calf. That's not the calf, it's the inside of the thigh, should I say. Double axe handle right to the back of Jimmy Havoc. Jester now taking Havoc up. He's got him into a tombstone power driver position. There it is, tombstone power driver by Jester on Jimmy Havoc. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3, and Jester pulls off the victory. So it was going a bit back and forth, back and forth, back and forth this match, and then eventually, straight away, Jester just catching Havoc. Well, I think this neck breaker was a big turning point in the match, actually. And from there, that allowed Jester to continue on the assault and catch Jimmy Havoc with the tombstone power driver. And that was game, set, match. There we go. Victory for Jester. I think he's doing okay, actually, ranking points wise. I think he's doing okay. And here is our next match then. Super Crazy takes on Tajiri. And here we go then. I try to see two of the more supers. I try to see more of the cruiserweight guys in the roster. Or Super Juniors, I suppose I was going with that. But also two guys that work together extensively in ECW. There's a lot of matches. I seem to remember the whole triple threat between Super Crazy, Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck. That happened a few times, didn't it? And of course, Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck ended up forming a tag team along with the Sinister Minister. Am I remembering all this correctly, or am I completely off the cuff here? I'm not sure. I'm not rightly sure. So Super Crazy in the ring, awaiting. He's awaiting the entrance. He's awaiting the entrance of his opponent, of course, Tajiri. I wonder if Tajiri is going to be on 2K18. I feel like he could be. He was part of the Cruiserweights. They could put him on there as a legend, at least, surely. I think they should do, you know. Part of the Cruiserweights, a legend. Why not? I'm sure he must have faced John Cena at least 10 times. Who knows? I'm making that up. I know he probably didn't. But why have they changed the YouTube's look? It looks terrible. It's fine for most people, but I just like to get back to my channel is a bit of a pain in the backside now. No, I don't like it, the fact they've removed the My Channel button. So I've got to go through a different way to get to my channel. I don't like it. Change it back. And then when you click on my channel, it doesn't even give you the opportunity to go and have a look at your videos. You've got to go through a different way. It's frustrating. I want to find my video manager easier. There we go. It's a frustrating one, isn't it? You just get used to where everything is, then people decide to move it all around. I'm sure they just do it to annoy people. That's all they do. So Tajiri starting things off in control here of Super Crazy. Remember, 2 more matches for you after this one. We have got the Terry Funk Open Challenge match. Funk opens out a challenge to anybody in SWE, anyone anywhere really in the world. It could be anyone who takes up the opportunity to face off against him. So far in his open challenge, he's 2-1. 2 victories, 1 loss. And of course the people who have cashed those opportunities in have been Mick Foley, Dude Love and Mankind. So yeah, a nice varied selection of people. Be interesting to see who tries to cash in that opportunity here this evening. It's Tajiri catching Super Crazy with a tornado, or tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, should I say. Well, I'll say that if I want to use the correct name for it, I might as well use that. Tajiri looking for a powerbomb, but Super Crazy breaking free. Into another tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Tajiri taking advantage here, just keeping on top of Super Crazy. Dropping an elbow right inside the knee, then for the pin. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Tajiri heading up top. Into a moonsault on Super Crazy as well. Super Crazy fighting Tajiri away. And a standing moonsault. It's a little bit of a, not the cleanest standing moonsault. Sort of lent to one side, wasn't it? It wasn't the cleanest, but still effective. There you go again. Another standing moonsault by Super Crazy on Tajiri. When they get the chance, that's what they got to go for it. I feel like, I hope the gimmick matches work a bit better on this year's game, and I feel like if they do work a bit better, we'll use a lot more of them here in Carnage. And of course we do have the ability to make our own match types as well with a match editor coming in, or create a match screen. So it'll be interesting to see what the abilities are on there, and if we do get some pretty cool match types that we can create, I feel like Carnage is going to be the home of some pretty interesting gimmick style matches. Super Crazy catching Tajiri with the hip toss. Went for the pin, but it's only enough for the 2. Drop kick to the back there by Super Crazy on Tajiri. And like I say, I feel like both these guys will be involved in 2K18 as long as we can get the cores. Tajiri, I feel like getting the core for Tajiri is not going to be too difficult. Although, like I said, I believe that there's a possibility he could be on the game. Super Crazy is one that, I don't know, he's either going to be there. That's a very stupid sentence to say, but he's either going to be there or he's not. If somebody who's good at creating cores takes the time and effort to make Super Crazy, then fantastic. If not, there are a lot of other people that people might want. But then again, because there's so many people on the game, it sort of cuts down on the people that people might make, if that makes sense. Like this year, a lot of people were making a lot of the Cruiserweight Classic guys. But, of course, now, a lot of them are going to be on the game. Apart from, of course, the likes of Zack Sabre Jr. and Kota Ibushi and all those sort of people. Some of the top ones, of course. Tajiri slides back in with Super Crazy following just behind. Tajiri catching Super Crazy, but Super Crazy fighting back with the right hand and another one as well. Super Crazy butterfly sit out powerbomb, holds it for the pin. Only a 2 count. Super Crazy bringing Tajiri back up to his feet, catches the leg into a dragon screw. Super Crazy heading up top. So you're looking for 450 splash. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, and 3. And Super Crazy picks up the victory here over Tajiri live on Carnage. Nice. Mark it down as a victory on my piece of paper. It's a good match, this one. Again, another back and forth match. We've had a few of those so far here this evening. There was a butterfly powerbomb by Super Crazy on Tajiri. That wasn't quite enough, but the 450 splash was. And there we go. Enough for the 3 count. Super Crazy. I must admit, I thought Tajiri might win this one, but there you go. Super Crazy it is. Good win for him. And of course we're going to cut straight into our next match, which is going to be the open challenge from Terry Funk, who this week is going to decide to cash in the opportunity. And here we go, straight into that open challenge, like I just said. And of course here is the owner of this open challenge. It's Mr. Terry Funk. The man, the myth, the legend. Man who I believe is due to return to the ring soon. Which is pretty crazy. Because Sydney's actually 147 now. Which is mad really, isn't it? But who is going to be this week's challenger to Terry Funk? Of course, week 1 was Mick Foley, week 2 was Dude Love, week 3 was Mankind. Who is going to challenge Terry Funk in week number 4? If you don't know by now, then you're a lost cause, really. Dude. Terry Funk seems shocked, but here comes Cactus Jack. Here he comes. So of course Terry Funk defeated Mick Foley and defeated Dude Love, but Mankind was able to defeat Terry Funk last week. Can Cactus Jack make this 2-2? Or will Terry Funk be able to continue his dominant run in this open challenge? Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. I'm looking forward to this one then. Cactus Jack versus Terry Funk, the original clash. These two are just insane, really, aren't they? In the nicest possible way, these two are just insane. Terry Funk, big boot in the gut of Cactus Jack, and It's amazing the way you look at this, because I feel like this is what WWE have done here, and you've got to respect them for what they've done here, because it was Terry Funk who, he was in WWE for a short period of time, wasn't he? And of course it was Cactus Jack who was in WWE altogether, and Cactus had his career cut short because of the injuries and the damage he was causing to his own body. Granted, Terry Funk seems to just be immortal at this point in time, but you feel like if it wasn't for WWE forcing Jack to retire, what state would his body be in now? His body was already in a pretty hectic state when he was in WWE, of course. If you remember him going off the top of the cell, one of his teeth was actually through his nostril. And yeah, it's I suppose as much as we don't like it, as much as we get annoyed, of course we're always going to get annoyed, aren't we? When you have when you have Daniel Bryan retiring when he did. Just Daniel Bryan's retirement was the worst placed thing ever, really, because it just, when you had all these great up and comers like AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and all these sort of guys coming into WWE, losing Daniel Bryan at that point in time when we could have had so many massive dream matches. It was a bit annoying, but at the same time, it could have saved him, really. I got no idea what he had. A neck injury, wasn't it? It was a neck injury that reduced the strength he had in his arms, which is the same injury that Paige has got, believe it or not. Yeah, the injury where she's suffered a neck injury and it's affecting the manipulation in her hands, so strength and gripping in her arms are not as strong as they once were. And that's the same as what Daniel Bryan had, but I suppose, yeah, as much as annoying as it is, you've got to commend him for forcing people to stop their careers when they do, because you don't know what sort of state these people might end up in if they continue on. And Terry Funk, I think, is the exception to the rule. For that man to still be in the ring competing at this point in his career is crazy. I know he's retired so many times, but I think he's returning to a one-off thing at the whatchamacallit, isn't he? In Japan, probably, I think it is. Is it Japan? Try and see what he can do. Cactus now booting Funk in the gut and sends him into the turnbuckle. What's it going for here? Jumping Bulldog. And of course, don't forget, we still have your main event for you after this match, which is going to be the match between Raven defending his championship against Braun Strowman. Good luck with that. Good freaking luck with that one, my friend. Cactus catching Funk once again, slams him face first into that turnbuckle. Cactus again sending Funk into the turnbuckle. We've seen this before over the years, haven't we? Running knee strike by Cactus Jack right in the face of Terry Funk. And a knee right in the spine as well. Jack now stalking Terry Funk, hooks him in, into the pile driver. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh, Funk's kicked out. Terry Funk is actually just kicked out of the pile driver. That's crazy. How the freaking hell has Funk just kicked out of the pile driver? How the hell? Oh, I've lost it. How the hell has Punk kicked out of the pile driver? Not how the hell has Dunk kicked out of the file miver. I completely lost it. Lost everything there, didn't I? Cactus sending Funk into the corner. Clothesline into the spine. There's a pin by Cactus Jack. 1, 2. I need 2. Kicking the spine of Funk again. And can Cactus lock in a potential double arm DDT to win this one? If he does, that'll make it 2-2 in this little feud between these two guys. Cactus now. Bang, bang. Running hip attack in the corner. Cactus dragging Funk back into the middle of the ring. So you're looking for now a big kick right to the abdomen of Terry. I don't know why I said abdomen like that. So Funk is really struggling here. Cactus is dominating large periods of this match. But he kind of seemed to finish him off. You see Cactus struggling with a little bit of energy. It's been a long match. Cactus now. Big boot right in the chest of Terry Funk. Stalking the Funker. Looking once again for the pile driver. There it is. Gotta be this time. 1, 2, and 3. Cactus Jack picks the victory over Terry Funk, and that now makes it 2-2 in the battle of the Funk and the Foleys. You know what? 2-2. How about we save this and we finish this at Shabby Mania? We do a buffer match, a rubber match, if you will, because that's a phrase that PJ Toby's got a bit hot on recently. Rubber match. A rubber match at Shabby Mania. 2 or 3 weeks time. 3 weeks time now. We're going to end this feud. Terry Funk versus Mick Foley in whatever incarnation they decide to turn up in. But 2-2. It's been interesting, wasn't it? Mick Foley and Dude Love defeated by Funk. Mankind and Cactus Jack winning over Funk. 4 faces of Foley, 2 victors and 2 losses. And Jack is looking happy. Happy Jack. I like Cactus Jack. He's my favourite. I say he's my favourite, and then I was really disappointed that we didn't use Mankind. So I feel like the different versions of Foley will be available this year in the draft. I'm sure they will be. And here we go, the main event of the evening. Braun Strowman challenges Raven for the Carnage Championship. And here we go then. I cannot imagine how the hell Raven's going to get through this one. I really can't. Braun Strowman is just an absolute beast. And I just have no idea how it works. Just no idea how he even feels he's going to get out of this one alive. And if Braun Strowman wins that Carnage Championship, who will have the balls to take it off him? That's the question, isn't it? And here comes Mr. Strowman. Right on cue. I'm not finished yet. Oh, I really like Braun Strowman. I really do. I don't know why, because I shouldn't. Nobody should. But he's just so... Well, he should do, really, in fairness. Just normally these big guys that Vince pushes mega just doesn't work. But this one just seems to have just been perfectly done. I think what really did Braun Strowman good was that feud against Reigns. If it wasn't for the feud against Reigns, I don't think he would be as over as what he currently is. Like, he's supposed to be a heel as well, but... He's supposed to be a heel, but, well, I don't know if he is. Is he supposed to be a heel or what? I think he's tweening now, isn't he? He was supposed to be the heel against Reigns, yet he got the biggest cheer out of anyone. And when he returned from his injury, that reaction that the crowd gave him when he returned from his injury was just... That said it all, really. That just said just how over he is. And he could be incredibly over here in SWE and holding the main event championship of Carnage by the end of the night. But will he be? Will he be? I don't even think Raven will turn up here, to be honest with you. I wouldn't if I was Raven. I'd just give up. I'd just send somebody out with a belt and just hand it over, to be honest. But then again, Raven, very much similar to Sabu and Rob Van Dam we were talking about earlier. Maybe a little bit more, well, maybe a little bit more guts than brains, really. Yeah, maybe a bit more guts than brains. So there you go. Raven on his way, looking actually pretty happy and pretty confident as well. And there he is, Raven. I'm looking forward to this one actually. It's a big one because of, yeah, it's just a big one because of obviously being for the championship, and it's a massive opportunity for Raven to prove that he should be doing what he's doing. Really. But at the same time, I don't know, I still just can't see past the Braun Strowman win here, to be honest. I'm trying to big up Raven, I'm trying to say that Raven has an opportunity, but at the same time, I just don't think he does. The following match is scheduled for what fall? And it is for the SWE Carnage Championship. Introducing first, your challenger, from somewhere in somewhere, Raven. And the challenger, from somewhere else in somewhere, Braun Strowman. Braun's going to hammer him, and he's going to absolutely destroy him, surely. The bell goes, we are underway. And Raven throws the first fist and sends Braun straight into the corner, full pelt. Raven's got to take an early advantage here if he wants any chance of winning this one. He's got to take a massive, massive chances. Raven trying to take the leg out as well. That's a clever idea. That is a clever idea. Boom, knee in the back of Braun Strowman as well, and another boot in the back of Strowman. And now just compressing the temples of Strowman as well. Strowman seems a little bit lost here. Just Raven's come out the gate so quick here. But Strowman is back up on his feet now and catching Raven. Has Raven had his opportunity? Strowman has launched him across the ring via his head. And a big knee strike right in the face. Oh my god, look how contorted Raven's neck is. Really, really contorted. Strowman continuing this. Oh, Raven actually with the elbow in the back. And Raven is fighting back pretty well. I'm surprised so far actually how, not necessarily how well Raven's doing, but the fact that Raven is more involved in this match than I thought he was going to be. He's taken it a bit more to Strowman. Whether it's going to be able to do it full whack, I've got no idea. Maybe not at this point in time. Or Strowman just dropping Raven flat on his face. And Raven, I think, caught that middle rope on the way down as well. Strowman now, big clubbing blow across the chest. Elbow drop as well by Strowman on Raven. Strowman is stalking the ground and Raven up on his shoulders. Running power slam already in this match. And wow, this could be a squash. 1, 2. Brand new Carnage champion, ladies and gentlemen. Braun Strowman does not get paid by the hour. And he makes short work of the champion Raven. And we have got a brand new champion for you live on Carnage. I'm pretty sure the entrances lasted longer than the match, really. but that's what you get when you fight Braun Strowman. The monster amongst men has taken full advantage of his first championship match here in SWE, and Braun Strowman holds a main event championship here in SWE. We did it before WWE did it. We did it before it was cool. And there it is, the belt. Braun Strowman lifts up high the Carnage Championship. Of course, he will have to defend that belt now at Shabby Mania in a few weeks' time. Who is brave enough to challenge him for it, though? Right, guys, that's the end of this episode of Carnage. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, like and subscribe, all that other good stuff. You know what to do by now. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you all again in a couple of days' time on Thursday for our final, well, not a final necessarily, but our next Adrenaline pay-per-view. And it's the last pay-per-view before we hit Shabby Mania for all of the brands. Bye.
I'm ashamed, I want you to